is there a way to target family-owned businesses on Facebook as opposed to startups? Yeah, let me think about how I would do this. Okay, so family-owned businesses. So if you're trying to, okay, so if I'm trying to find established businesses, like, um, if I'm trying to find established businesses, rather than just people that are just starting their own business, what I would do is I would use Facebook targeting, and I would kind of, there's a way that you can narrow audiences on Facebook. So I would start by targeting interests that entrepreneurs would be interested in. And there's so many different ones. Just so many, like magazines and, Forbes and different celebrities like Gary Vaynerchuk and Tony Robbins and like all these different things, right? And then you can do a modifier in there that basically says narrow audience further. And one thing you could do, because typically an established business will probably make more money. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they will. But if you're going after established businesses, you might be able to, and it depends on if Facebook is allowing this. It goes in and out, but sometimes you can target people that are in a certain income bracket. So if they're in the startup, they might not necessarily be in a lower income bracket. Now, another way to do this, and probably the better way to do this, is to create content that startups would not be interested in, but established businesses would be interested in, and then start, so what I would probably do, I would create a video, and it would be maybe a 5-minute video, and it would be explaining a solution to a problem that a startup would not have, but an established business would have. So it's like a thing like, maybe how do you, maybe something about like how to revive dead email lists, or how to get, here's one. You could do how to get sales from clients that have not bought anything from you for 2 years, or something like that. Something that kind of like has to have some sort of like prerequisite, right? And what you do is you go into Facebook audience, into business.facebook.com, you create a custom audience, and your custom audience is going to be comprised of people that watch 25% or more of that video. And then you're going to run that video as an ad. And like I said, it's 5 minutes long. So if you're writing if you're running an ad targeting entrepreneurs, and you're keeping track of the people that watch more than 25% of a video that startups would not care about, but established businesses would care about, then now you're starting to filter these people out. And then what you can do is then you can run your, and as you're doing that, basically you're just consistently building your list of people that are running established businesses, and it's eliminating a lot of the startup traffic there. So then what you do when you want to run your other ads is you then just target that custom audience. So you'll run an ad just targeting people that watch 25% of this video, and then once you have probably like, technically you can do a lookalike audience at 100 people, but it's better to do it at 1,000 people. Once you have like 1,000 people in the audience, then you can create a lookalike audience, and that'll work even better. And it works really well. So that's what I would do. It takes, you can do it through targeting, or you can do it with this, with basically targeting all entrepreneurs, and then making sure that your content is what filters them out. So that's two different ways to do it. Both work very well. Like if I was to do it, I do that all the time when I'm trying to target personal injury attorneys. I'll put up a video. Here's how to get car accidents. Here's how personal injury attorneys can get car accident leads, right? If you're a divorce attorney, you're probably not going to watch that video. So I can basically just say anyone that watches 25% of that video is probably a personal injury attorney, and I'm going to target them with I'm going to target that audience with specific personal injury type content. So yeah, that's the cool thing about Facebook.